The group that I will be talking about for this project is the group of 7 girls, including me, who were randomly assigned to live together while studying abroad in Dingle, Ireland for a 2-week program. According to Dr. Johnson, the concept of time refers to the length of time and context of the group. Time was a noteworthy concept for this specific group since we were with each other 24/7 for 14 days straight. Although it was a short period of time, we spent a lot of it together, resulting in the group dynamic we will be exploring throughout this video. According to Cole, Yalom's therapeutic factors explain how the process of group interactions becomes the incentive for therapeutic change. Although there were multiple therapeutic factors present in the 2 weeks we spent together as a group, I'm going to focus on universality and interpersonal learning. Cole describes Yalom's concept of universality as the feeling that one is not alone in how they feel, which becomes known in the early stages of the group when members try to find similarities between each other. Although most of our group did not know each other, we all went to Dingle for similar reasons, which is something we had in common. We went to Dingle to explore this unique little town we had heard amazing things about, learn about Ireland as well as ourselves, push ourselves outside of our comfort zone, and meet new people. Cole explains Yalom's concept of interpersonal learning input as an individual reflecting on their own self-concept and becoming aware of negative social behaviors or habits as a result of feedback from the group and how other members perceive them. As I stated earlier, I did not know the other girls beforehand. We all took a group flight together, and later in the trip we were talking about the experience of not knowing everyone going. The girls had said that they had saw me at the airport but were intimidated because I didn't look friendly to them. However, once they got to know me, they saw how I am very friendly and outgoing. This caused me to reflect on myself and how I am perceived by others. I realized I should be more aware of my facial expressions and push myself to talk to new people despite the anxiety I may be experiencing. When a group is experiencing a conflict, there are many ways in which the members can approach resolving the conflict. According to Cole, conflict resolution is a process by which people from opposing positions on issues arrive at a mutually acceptable solution through collaborative problem solving. Some conflict resolution strategies Cole discusses include arguing, avoiding, and compromising. When living in a house in a different country with 7 girls who went from not knowing each other at all to living with each other 24/7, conflict is inevitable, especially when we were randomly assigned to live together. We had a couple of conflicts regarding agreeing on where to go or what activities to do, and we also had drama occur due to one girl in the group I see as the recognition seeker, which will be addressed later on. This is also where the concept of time is important because instead of addressing the conflict, discussing it, and either compromising or resolving it, as a group we avoided the issues since we were only going to be there for 14 days. Cole describes avoiding as seeming to be the do no harm approach. However, unresolved conflicts can build resentment and resurface at an inappropriate time in the future. It was an unspoken agreement we all conformed to since there were most likely not going to be enough time for their unresolved conflicts to resurface. Instead of addressing the conflict, we continued to enjoy our experience there together. According to Cole, group development refers to the stages groups go through as they progress from initiation to termination. There are many different researchers who have different theories regarding the stages of group development. I believe our group development process resonated the most with Yalom's phases, including orientation, conflict, and cohesive maturity. As a group, we were together 24/7 for 14 days straight, and I can see how we progressed through all 3 of Yalom's phases from the beginning of the trip to the end. For the first few days of the trip, we were in the orientation phase of getting to know each other. Some of us were hesitant to be our full true selves as we searched to be accepted into the group. Then we experienced some conflict that I mentioned earlier, which showed us who we really were connected with and who we were most similar to in the group. By the end of the trip, the last few days, we reached cohesive maturity as we had accepted that we could split up into smaller groups and do what we were interested in doing rather than staying together as a big group for every activity. According to Cole, group roles are behavior patterns or structured ways of behaving within a group that contribute to the functioning, progress, and dynamic of the group. Some people may take on more than one role, which is what I saw for a few of us in this group. Cole describes the recognition seeker as one who calls attention to self through boasting, acting in unusual ways, or struggling to remain in the limelight. The recognition seeker in our group behaved in ways to draw attention to herself. She would try to guilt people into staying home with her if we were doing an activity she did not want to participate in. She also caused some conflict within the group. However, by the end, we decided we were in this unique place for a short period of time and wanted to enjoy our experience instead of paying attention to the recognition seeker. I observed Ashley as taking on the roles of the playboy and energizer of the group. The playboy role is one that displays lack of involvement through joking, cynicism, or nonchalance. And Cole describes the energizer as an individual who prods the group into action or decision. I would not necessarily say Ashley portrayed the definition of playboy as Cole defines it. However, she was the joker of the group and constantly used her sense of humor to keep us laughing the entire trip. She would keep the energy of the group up during different activities, and I knew that whenever I spent time with Ashley, I would be laughing and having a good time. Rihanna also took on two roles as the compromiser and harmonizer of the group. The compromiser modifies his or her own position in the interest of group harmony, whereas the harmonizer mediates the differences between other members. Rihanna was always trying to connect the group, make everyone happy, and wanted everyone to get along with each other. She was friends with the recognition seeker, so felt obligated to be with her when she was behaving in attention-seeking ways, but she also wanted to enjoy her own experience and spend time with the rest of us. She took on both of these roles to try to balance all of us as a group. Reflecting on my own role in the group, I think I initially took the role as a follower, but eventually became the procedural technician of the group. The role of a follower is one who passively accepts the ideas of others and goes along with the movement of the group. The procedural technician is the one who expedites group's movement by doing things for the group. At the beginning of the trip, I assumed the role of a follower since I did not know anyone else in the group. The rest of the girls had known at least one other person, so I felt like an outsider initially and just wanted to go with the flow and go along with whatever the girls wanted to do. As time went on, I became more comfortable with initiating plans and activities, which resulted in me taking on the role of the procedural technician. I would ensure we had an agreed time to leave each morning and that we had come to a decision about what activities we were going to participate in and who was coming to each activity. One day we decided to have a home-cooked house dinner, so I went grocery shopping with a couple of the girls and I did most of the cooking with the help of one other girl to make sure it was a nice dinner. Although we only spent a short time together, we grew very close to each other. We shared a unique experience in a special place which brought special meaning to our group. The time we spent together in Ireland is an experience we can never replicate. This trip would not have been as amazing as it was if we were not randomly assigned to live together. We made the experience what it was through the different characteristics and energy each of us brought to the group. I cannot speak on behalf of the rest of the group, but to me this was a very special trip that's taught me a lot about myself, mostly because of these girls. I learned how amazing it can be to push myself out of my comfort zone and surround myself with new people. I am so grateful to have met this group of girls and will forever cherish the memories we made together in Dingle.